Good evening. Welcome to Israel Vision. It's been quite a few days since I've done a video, almost actually 2 weeks. There has been a lot of shifting going on, and I know I can't be the only one feeling this or dealing with this or being aware of this. Um, we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, those that are walking according to His purpose. So we've already discussed that even the bad things work for the good for those that truly believe. And I'm going to let you guys in. Recently, there's been several portals open, several things shifting. As you guys know, we are getting to that beautiful time of the change, the thing that all the prophecies spoke of, whether you want to call it the millennial reign of Christ, whether you want to call it the golden age, whether you want to call it the rainbow tribe that's going to help replenish and renew the earth. However you want to word it, we know that there is a shift coming, and a shift of balance, a shift of change, and for the better. We also know that the old has to fall apart for the new to come. And I want to say this. You guys have to remember, it's never happening to you. It's always happening for you. And a lot of times when you find yourself in a dark place, you might think that you've been buried and left for dead, but really you've only been planted. And it takes the dark for the things to grow and for things to be birthed out of. Even babies in the womb is dark. There's not really much light. I mean, I'm sure as sunlight hits the stomach, maybe if it's a bare stomach, or I'm sure if lights are on, every now and then a baby might just get a flickering of lightness, but not necessarily light, because again, you're still enclosed within that womb. So even babies, before they're born, they're encased in a darkness. And if before things even came into existence, it was actually the darkness. Before there was ever light, there was dark. Many things are born out of darkness. And so I said all that to say, even within my personal life, things have really been shifting. And I have, excuse me, I have to know that it's of the Most High. And so I wanted to share this, for one, maybe to take account on the reason why there hasn't been a video in a week or two. And then also for others who might be going through a shift, to alleviate some of the anxiety and stress that come with those times. Everything's not always hunky-dory. And it's proven scientifically that ups and downs take you somewhere faster than just going straight, because with the ups and downs, there is momentum and things picked up along with that. Whereas just going down straight, there's not. So, even within movement and energy, it takes the ups and downs to really get further than you could with just, traveling a straight line. So let me get into my personal example. I've been at my job for 3 years, and I am actually working for a company right now. I am not doing any independent contract work, and I'm not running my own business at the moment. I started working for this company after being ran over. And this is a company that I actually used to do independent contract work for, which is where I was my own boss and I would send them clients. But after being ran over and having my ankle crushed and not walking for 9 months and putting on a couple pounds, like couple pounds, it was more like a couple hundred. Yeah. After going through all of that, my confidence as a independent contractor had just went way downhill. I just didn't feel like I was in shape enough to, be jumping in and out of my car, going to all these places, along with my, confidence, not just physically, but mentally in my abilities to, obtain clients and things like that. I had just went through a really dark time with that, going from, basically working my own business to being ran over and being out of business completely for 9 months and then trying to go back. It ended up working out for me to get a position in an office at one of the agencies that I would send clients to. Praise God for that, because, at that time I was still using a cane. So I wasn't even, fully even walking as good as I am now. Well, over time, some of us are meant to be leaders. Some of us are meant to be the forefront, or the ones meant to blaze the path, and some of us are meant to assist. And for those of us that are actually meant to be leaders, and for those of us that are actually meant to be the ones showing the way, we tend to have a harder time under other leadership. And it's not to say, that we're disrespectful or anything like that, but if you are meant to lead, you will never be comfortable following. And that's just vice versa for followers. If you're meant to follow directions, you'll never feel comfortable leading. Some people are completely okay with, having a 9 to 5 life with a basic schedule and following the directions of others. Matter of fact, they thrive on that. It's better for them, because if you give them something and tell them to figure it out, it's too much for them. So some people prefer working a 9 to 5 or working under somebody. And I guess this is where the different personality types come in. And I'm not talking necessarily like the INFJ or the ENTP. I'm talking more of whether you're an alpha, a beta, a sigma, that type of thing. And if that piques your interest right now, just look up sigma males or sigma females or alpha males. Look up that, and it'll basically, take you into some things where you can kind of learn about that. But some of us are meant to lead, some of us are meant to follow, and some of us are just indifferent. We just kind of, we fit where we're supposed to fit. But before I go in a circle, basically some of us are not, we're not meant to follow. We're meant to lead. So when we are in an environment where we're either being suppressed, I shouldn't say suppressed, but we're being continually told what to do, even if we may see, a better way to do it, it's going to eventually start wearing on us. Because, when you work for somebody, you're not there for your opinion. You're there to do it how they want it. So even if you may see a better way to do it, or you may not be being used to the best of your abilities, it's kind of, that doesn't matter, because it's basically going to go how they want to do it, because it's their business. So for somebody that may have, a visionary type of mind, or for somebody who may very well be meant for a role of leadership, there's always going to be an unhappiness or a disconnect within you. And you might not be aware of that, at the time. You might think that you're broken, or, why is it that I can't keep a regular job? Well, it's because you're not meant to. You weren't made for that. You were made to blaze a path. You were made to be the vision. And if you're working under somebody else's vision, your vision will never be acknowledged, and you'll never be used to your full potential, because you're meant to lead, not to follow. So that might answer somebody's question today. But I said all that to go into my story about this company that I've been working for. So basically, since I was ran over, my confidence went down. My complete confidence within my physical self, my intelligent capabilities, it's just all the way down. So I have, needless to say, been working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, at an agency, which, praise God, I've been able to pay my bills. I have gotten a couple raises since I started working there. And I'm very thankful for the structure implemented within my life, because before I was doing my own work, I didn't have as much structure. And I was also, 5 or 6 years younger than I am now. And so, I was a little more spontaneous. So I needed that structure, because it was part of, what was needed to shape me for the future position of whatever God has me do. But during that time, there were several things that truly affected me. And I continued to stay down. I know some people like to say you got to stay down for the come up. I continued to stay down because I knew at the time, this was my bread and butter. This is, what I need to do. But as time has went on, and as my physical body has started to heal, and as I've been going through this dark night of the soul, and really truly healing my inside as well, and not just my outside, and I mean that emotionally and spiritually, as I've been truly healing my inside, I'm realizing that a lot of the depression and anxiety is coming from not being in alignment with my soul, which is what we spoke about before, where if you're depressed or you're anxious, it's because you're not in alignment. Because when you're truly aligned with your soul's purpose and what you were created to do, you don't feel that, because all you feel is source. All you feel is God. All you feel is just the blessings and the peace, because you're fully doing exactly what you're meant to do. And that doesn't just mean necessarily the good things are what we consider evil and good. That can even go down to your purpose. You could be an excellent person and follow all of the rules, but if you're not fulfilling your purpose, you're still going to feel that disconnect, along with not walking in love. That has another, there's like a trifecta effect here when it comes to people here on this earth and what we're meant to do. It doesn't just go down to, operating in a way of order, but it goes down to walking in our purpose and also walking in love. And if any of those things are missing, we're going to have a disconnect, and we're going to feel anxious. We're going to feel depressed. All of those things are going to happen. But, as time went on in my position at this company, I started feeling more and more disconnect. Now, while I'm healing on the outside, as well as spiritually and emotionally healing and really doing my inner work to become the best version of myself, I'm starting to have more and more of a problem with the structured 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And it wasn't with the work, because I don't have a problem working. It was with how it was structured, and how there was so many things that I could see that the way it could be done better. And then on top of that, I'm not being even utilized to my full potential. So here I am with all this potential, and I'm truly feeling almost like oppressed, if that even makes sense. I'm truly feeling oppressed, or even like Neo in that movie, The Matrix, especially the last one, where he is put back to sleep almost, and he's almost waking back up to who he really is, but he's been blinded again, and he's doing the same thing over and over, and like he's dumping the pills down the sink. It's almost like that, where it's just like, this is not life. Like, this ain't it, especially not being utilized to what I could fully do. So things have just been slowly shifting. I started this YouTube channel about a month or so ago. And within this time, it's like something in me keeps telling me, you have to find your own path. You have to create your own path. You have to, because you're supposed to do this. You're a leader. You're one of the ones that are supposed to, assist other people. So as I'm going on the last month or so and doing these videos, I've been getting a more and more of a disconnect feeling within the office job. Mind you, again, I'm very appreciative. I always, let God know, thank you, Lord, for letting me work another day. Thank you for allowing me to pay my bills. But something in me was just like, I know this is not it. So I have been truly praying for it, because right now I do not have a full another avenue to fully support all of my bills. And we also want to be logical. We may know that there's something that we're supposed to do, but we have to somewhat be logical, because in today's society, if you just say, screw it, okay, yeah, you might figure out how to make money, but it might not be the 2,000 or 3,000 that you're making, at the job. So it's like, you have to have some type of common sense with this as well. And then you have to pray and just lean. And I said all that to say this, this last week, things truly shifted. And then if anybody knows about the 8-8, the Lionsgate portal, and just the things going on as far as the earth going more into a 5D earth, when it comes to energy and frequencies, then we know that not just within the collective minds and spirits, but the actual earth and things, there's shifts going on, and everything is being pushed toward the ultimate goal of things being fulfilled and God's will being done here on earth. So last week, and it's so funny because it happened the day that the Lionsgate portal basically began, which was on, I want to say, the 26th, which was last week. Basically, the supervisor there more or less let me go. Now, mind you, I don't have 3 write-ups. I never, acquired, a suspension per se. And I am actually a really good worker. Like, out of the workers there, and I'm, maybe I'm wrong, but I would say I'm one of the better, I'm one of the best workers, as far as the parameters of things. And And so I was let go, which, some may say, okay, well, this may be the reason, or, if I'm disagreeing and we both disagree, then it makes sense for her to let me go. But when you look at the whole picture and you put it on the scale, it kind of didn't make sense because I'm a really good worker. So, as of last week, I was prepared that I was basically no longer working in, the 9 to 5 office setting no more. And to be honest with you, whereas most people would be suffering and going through severe anxiety and stress, I felt free. Like something in me knew that it was the Most High and things were shifting for the good. Because remember, all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, those that are walking according to the purpose. So not just the good things, but the bad things. It's not happening to you, but it's always happening for you. If you've been given a plan, and I'm not saying, what other people tell you with this and this and this, even though things that other people tell you will usually confirm what God is giving to you. But if you know that the Most High gave you a plan and gave you a vision, and he said, this is what you're supposed to do, and your life is not aligning with what he's saying, then you have to know when it starts shifting that it's only him shifting you towards being able to start fulfilling his will. So I was shifted last week. I was basically let go, which opened up my schedule completely. Now, whereas other people would be stressed out and crying, I literally was thanking God and realizing that that was the shift that basically freed me. Now, did I have necessarily something else lined up? No, I was going to figure out how to get back into marketing like I was doing 3 years ago. I was going to figure out Uber Eats or this or this or this. But I knew I was being freed from that matrix so that I can press toward the mark that was given to me. Now, fast forward to today. I knew it would behoove me to have the connections and to maybe even do part-time work. So God gave me the thought that it was completely done just so I can accept that if it was done, it's what is, and I had no problem with it. But he shifted it back to where this week there was a meeting held and I was able to basically redo a contract and secure a part-time position with the company, which would basically allot me a certain set amount of money every month, more or less, to cover my bills, but also give me the other days to work on my creative projects as well as more or less my own business. And it wouldn't have happened unless it was supposed to happen that way. And I don't think it's a coincidence either that it happened at the beginning of Lionsgate Portal and the beginning of more or less the increasing light on this earth. The light is increasing. So for those of us that were sent for things, God is going to shift things for you, but you have to know it's God. Even when it looks like everything is falling apart around you, even if it looks like a huge tower moment and things are crashing down, remember, the old has to go for the new to come. So I said all that to say, if any of you out there are going through I love when I get jumbled because it's just, it gives us a moment to kind of giggle. If any one of you are out there are going through something right now and you were given a vision, but your life isn't necessarily aligning with the vision that was given to you, go with the flow. Go with the crash. Go with the tower. It's not happening to you. It's only happening for you. God has a reason for everything. Some things may just be for the simple fact of networking. He might have you working at a job 2 or 3 years just so people can really see your worth. That way, when you go, they're willing to work with you in other matters. Or just for the fact you might not even be there for you. God might have you working somewhere for a year or two, for structure, and then to touch somebody else's life, because your light and your attitude and the way you are literally affects other people and you might not even know it. For us light workers, for us that were sent here for certain things, our aura in general is just healing. So just the fact that we've walked into a room or we've walked into a building, things around us are automatically being changed by our aura and our energy. And we might not feel it. And we might be very sensitive and picking up other people's energy, thinking that we're sensitive the whole time. Our aura is actually the more overpowering, but because we're empathetic, we still feel other people's energies. But the whole time we're there, not only is the light increasing in that area because we're the light on earth, but it's healing and people are being changed. And it's so subtle sometimes that we don't even realize it. But before you know it, a year and a half, 2, 3 years later, everybody's shining their light. Everybody is truly changing due to the atmosphere that you bring when you come. So God has a reason for everything. And if things are not lining up, but that's where you are, I guess I'm going to say, suck it up, buttercup. God knows. If you feel like that's not where you're supposed to be, then you pray. Pray and he will open up, or he will shift something for you like he did for me. Because I've been praying the last few months. Matter of fact, there's been several times where I've called my mom crying, like, I don't know if I could keep doing this. But at the same time, I didn't have anything else lined up. And now here we are, and there's been a shift. What started as me possibly being fired turned into a renewal of a contract that actually works better for me and for the Most High and the things that he basically is wanting me to do. It clears that up while also keeping me secured within the things that need to be paid every month. The part-time work that I am going to do is more or less going to cover my bills. And, I might not have extra with that, but we already know that we're going to be working on other things. So at the end of the day, this was a blessing. I have not done a video in a couple weeks, but this more or less explains why, because I've been going through a couple of different shifts. And at the end of the day, it's all for the good. So it's beautiful. And we were able to do a wonderful video today. And I hope for anybody who might be going through a tower moment, for anybody who might be going through a shift, I hope this helps you. And if you were sent for this, it's necessary. The shifts are necessary. So I guess that's where the term go with the flow comes in. And again, we know all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, those that are walking according to his purpose. That's Romans 8:28. So, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I didn't really have a set structure or any point set up. So I hope I didn't go into too many circles, but I do know that this is probably going to help somebody. So I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, and we are going to be back on track to doing the educational videos and, the regular scheduled videos like I was trying to do 1 or 2 a week before. So we are going to get back on track. Again, sometimes things are paused. Sometimes things, go through ups and downs. But as long as you don't give up, that's all that matters. So here we are. I hope everybody is well. And just remember, keep the faith and keep going. Don't stop. Until next time, don't forget to shine your lights.